And we always talk about and want the new and beginning handlers to be successful. That is my main goal. Because you're gonna be able to think of a person when I describe some of these points. One person is probably gonna come to mind. We're gonna talk about don't be that guy. So the first one I want to talk about is I'm your host, Stevie Thomas of Bawlin, Kennels, where we help new and beginning handlers create, explore, and perfect the art of hunting dog training through stories, tips, and techniques, and a proper mindset to get you started on the right track. But we are here to talk about some dogs. As always, that's what we do at Thoughts of a Dog Man, because that's all I think about. That is pretty much all I think about: dogs and people, and how to get better dogs, and how to get people to get better dogs, how I can get better dogs, just dogs in general. And we always talk about and want the new and beginning handlers to be successful. That is my main goal with the podcast. That is my main goal, when writing a book. Any information that I share out there, video content, just trying to teach and share as much, is really for those new and beginning handlers to get off on the right foot, so we can get more people in this sport that we love so much. And that's whether we're talking about beagles, running rabbits, we're talking about tree dogs, whether that's coon dogs, squirrel dogs, whatever you want to do, bird dogs. As y'all know, that I'm still getting my feet wet in the bird dog world. But it's been pretty fun. It's a learning curve, I'll tell you that much. But it's a lot of fun so far. Getting to talk to people who have been in bird dogs for a while now and listening to kind of what they've been talking about. That's where to go back to, man. If you can get around people who are willing to share and teach what they know or what they've learned over the years, you can be light years ahead. It'll just save you so much time, energy, and money when it comes to learning how the heck these dogs operate. But outside of the dogs, we want to be successful with us as people. I always talk about the amount of friends that you can make in the dog world to be like friends you've never encountered before. They're just a special breed of people that will hold a place dear in your heart. Some of them, they can be pretty interesting. Let's just put it that way. There's an interesting group of characters, but you also have some of the people that really will become a part of your family, and just be a part of your life for a long time to come. You can make them through these dogs. But I was thinking this week, I want to help the new and beginning, because the seasons are getting going, and you might be out reaching out to people to go hunt with. Again, might be your first season. This might be your first couple dogs you're working with. Again, whether it's rabbits, coon dogs, you're just starting to try to get around people that you can hunt with, that you can potentially create a friendship with. But with that comes somewhat of a caveat. And as you saw in the title, we're going to talk about don't be that guy. So there is a few things, and I'm pretty sure some of the veterans listening to this, they'll probably chuckle at a few of these that I'm going to list. I'm going to try to give you some things to avoid being a new person going out hunting with a group of new guys. And if you're in a position where you're creating your own friends, we just don't be that guy. Okay, so I'm going to run down a list, and we're going to kind of keep it light and fun and funny and all that sort of stuff, have fun with it. I thought it had me laughing at a few of these, because you're going to be able to think of a person. When I describe some of these points, one person is probably going to come to mind. And if you're listening to it and you're like, what is this dude talking about? You might be that guy in your friend group, in the group that you're trying to create. So just keep in mind, I hope you're enjoying the episode, but did you know people are becoming more interested in rabbit hunting with beagles, but might not know how to start? Don't worry, I got your back. I wrote a book called Producing a Future Rabbit Dog. In this book, I talk about proven concepts, tips, and techniques that I've been using for the last 10 years on all my rabbit dogs. If you're looking for easy to follow information and a guide to get you started on the right track, go to ballinoutkennels.com and grab your copy. That's Bawlin Out Kennels, BAWLINOUT Kennels.com. Your future rabbit dog awaits. Let's get back to the episode. To have the friendships and have the fun and create the memories and all that sort of stuff that we have is going to come with a variety of people, variety of situations, a variety of personalities, a variety of a lot of different things. And we still can enjoy them all the same. Okay. So I'm going to start getting into some of these. Don't be that guy. Okay. So the first one I want to talk about is the spot stealer. There's guys right now who just heard me say that and they think, oh, they got that one guy in their head that is a spot stealer. And you may be new and you're thinking, what the heck is a spot stealer? Let me just build a scenario for you. So let's just say you meet a new person that you're going hunting with, or it may have been a friend you've been talking on Facebook for a little while, and y'all finally decide to go hunting together. Whether that's rabbits, coons, whatever. Y'all decide to go hunt. So y'all arrange it, y'all meet up, and he's gonna take you to, a spot that he hunts. And this is probably this guy's honey hole. He wants to make a good impression. He wants the dogs to work really good. He's putting y'all in the best spot that he has because he knows without a doubt y'all are gonna run some rabbits. There are a ton of rabbits in here. The dog, they're gonna get an opportunity to run some rabbits. We're gonna be able a chance to harvest some. There's coon in here like crazy. The landowner wants the coons out of here, and there's a ton of coons in here. I know for a fact the dogs get in here, we're going to treat some coons. Squirrel, you just got to spot that, there's hickory trees, there are oak trees, there everything that these squirrels need. There's a ton of squirrels in there. We're going to treat some squirrels and probably get a limited squirrel. Or it could be one of those spots that, hey, there's birds in here. There are birds in here. We got cornfield, bean fields on either side. It's a nice patch of Indian grass, CRP, whatever. What them pheasants love, I don't know what it is about this spot, but there are birds here. We're probably going to get a limit if we can shoot straight. So the guy gets you there. He takes you to the spot. And while you're there, you happen to run into the landowner. And the landowner is a really super nice person. He would pretty much let anybody hunt there. But a lot of people probably don't even know the gem that he actually owns as far as whatever game you're trying to hunt. Whatever. It's in there. Everything is in there. And he will literally let anybody hunt if they ask. But a lot of people don't ask for whatever reason. And through the course of talking to the landowner, you got to keep that good connection with them. And you introduce your buddy to him and all that sort of stuff. And the landowner tells him, hey, yeah, if you ever want to come out and hunt, just let me know. You're free to come out. It's perfectly fine, We need some of these coon out of here, or there's plenty of rabbits in there. I used to hunt a long time ago. I just don't do it much anymore. Whatever. He basically gives a halfway nice green light. Now, to you and I being, veterans, that is not what we heard. But being a new person, they may have heard something completely different. So now you go in there and y'all tear them up. Y'all do exactly what you figured you would do. You all killed the coons, tore the rabbits up. You got limited rabbits in there, limited squirrels. Y'all limited out on birds super fast. Dogs were operated great. So obviously the buddy you took to the spot, y'all split ways, had a good hunt. And a couple weeks later, what do you decide to do? Oh, you got some time to kill on a Saturday. I'm going to go back to my honey hole. I only got a few hours. I want to get the dogs some work in. I know I'm going to take them to a place I know has the game. You pull into that spot, and what do you see? That dang truck. That is a spot stealer. That person who halfway gets permission to go from the landowner, or you take him to one of your honey holes, and he just kind of makes it his own. As a new and beginning handler, that is a no. That is something you do not do. It just is an unwritten rule that you just don't go to another guy's spot, especially if he showed you reaching out, being nice to you. That's just something you don't do. So if you ever want to not be invited again to hunt, go try to steal somebody's spot. I guarantee it'll be the quickest way for you to stop being invited to any hunts they got going on. So that kind of leads me into the next person, the ungrateful guest. Now, this is a person who, again, being new and being a beginner, don't be this guy. This is a guy with you being new and beginning that a lot of people, you start reaching out to people and they're grateful. They're trying to take you to places. They're trying to introduce you to rabbit hunting. So they are basically driving. They're taking you where they would hunt. They meet up with you. They make sure that it's a good experience. They bring the snacks. They bring everything. You know, they're driving, depending on how far it is, maybe 45 minutes, maybe 30, whoever. They'll come pick you up. You know, they got the dogs. You may not have the shells. Maybe a place that you're hunting is you know, lead free, something like that, where you got to have steel shot and you maybe didn't have any, but they'll freely give you the shells that they have, even though it's expensive for everybody. And you just don't ever say thank you. You don't ever show any appreciation for this person taking you to a spot to hunt, being basically a chauffeur for you, basically being somebody who is holding your hand through the process. They're teaching you as you're out there hunting. They're giving you pointers. They're trying to give you the best experience possible, and the person just doesn't show any appreciation for it. You can't be that guy, especially starting out, if ever. You should always be appreciative of somebody taking the time out of their day to hunt with you, whether they're good friends or not. But just saying thank you goes a long way. Just saying, hey, I appreciate you taking the time and taking me to this spot, hunt, and teach me everything and giving me some of your shells. You know, what do I owe you for it? And a lot of times guys are just like, nah, man, you don't owe me anything. We're good, man. You know, and try to pay them back a different way. Or they got the snacks. Hey, man, I can get the snacks next time. What do you like? Oh, it's good, bro. Don't worry about it. Most of the time, that's going to be the reaction you get. But the fact that you even offer, hey, I know we've been driving to this spot the last couple of weeks. Here's a little bit of gas money. They probably won't even take it. But being new and beginning, you want to show as much appreciation for a person showing you what they love to do, inviting you to their spots, inviting you into their environment so y'all can have fun. Y'all can create memories and y'all can, you know, shoot some rabbits, coons, squirrels, birds, whatever it is. Showing that appreciation goes a long way. So another person to think about, and I know some guys are going to relate to this one, the know-it-all. Now, you as a new and beginning handler, and some of us have been here before, and we could think of a guy who does this. But we know that you're fairly new into running dogs. Again, rabbits, coon dogs, squirrel dogs, bird dogs, whatever. We know that you're fairly new into running. And we applaud that you are done some research. You've read some articles. You've watched some YouTube videos. You've done some of that homework. But we know you just don't quite have as much experience as you may lead. So this is the guy who basically been hunting for a short period of time, and they have all the answers. They have all the answers to any question, anything that's going on. They know all about it. Here's the trick. They have no actual proof. They have no actual proof or concept of what they're actually talking about. They are like the king of theory. All of it is theory at this point in time, just because they don't have that much experience to be able to back up anything that they're talking about. It's just the know-it-all. No matter if you ask a random fact about what rabbits do if there's a full moon, this person knows it. Do coons move on a full moon? What time of the night do coons move best on a full moon, a half moon, a harvest moon? This person has the answer. They just know what it is. Oh, my dog isn't doing this. I wish he would do this a little bit more, a little bit better. this person, they got the answer for you right away, no matter what. And then you go to ask them, how do you know that? They really don't have any proof of concept. It's just, but they know everything. As a new and beginning handler running dogs, it is so much better to be a person who listens first and talks second. Now, if you're a talker, I'm never going to tell you to change your personality and all that sort of stuff, but it's something to keep in mind if that's how you operate. Being a know-it-all is the quickest way to be uninvited to hunt again. It's just tiring. A lot of times people just don't want to necessarily deal with that person. You know, it's really cool that you're knowledgeable on, you've learned a lot. Like I said, you've read articles, you've done your research and all that sort of stuff, which is cool. And there you can give some very good value. But to point out every single thing and you happen to know it, you happen to know all about it, a lot of people just don't want to put up with it. Most of us are out here running these dogs as a way to relax, as a way to, it's in our escape. It's our happy place. We don't necessarily want to hear all that sort of stuff. Now, there is a point in place and time to share your knowledge and all that. But if that person is not specifically asking, and especially they know you don't have that much experience, and it's not saying that you're not knowledgeable. They just know you don't have that much experience in what you're talking about. Just don't be that guy. Be quick to learn. Be quick to listen. I tell you what, a person who finds that this person I'm hunting with who's new, they want to listen, they're more apt to give as much information to you. And it may be information that you don't even know you needed to hear, that you could use 2 years down the road, that you're working with a dog and now this dog is doing X, Y, and Z. And you remember what this person told you, and now you can use that. But if there's somebody who thinks that you think you already know everything, they're never going to share any information to you, and you really know that you don't actually have proof of concept. Just don't be that guy. Be a little slower to talk, be quicker to listen, and learn something. That's the fastest way to get uninvited, is to be that guy who knows it all. So another person to think about is, man, the negative commenter. Social media is a great tool. It's a lot of fun. You can stay connected with a lot of people. You can see what dogs are out there. You can see who's won the latest competition. I mean, it can be useful in a lot of different ways. You can get products and information on there. All sorts of stuff can be used in social media. But there's always that one person. They have time to comment on everybody's page, everybody's post. For whatever reason, they just are everywhere. And usually the comments that they're posting are most of the time not very good. It's usually something negative. It's usually something slick. You know, that type of attitude, that type of vibe. If you're a new and beginning handler and you like to comment on people's posts, which is fine to do, I would never tell you not to do that. But just understand what it can make you look. How can it make you look? Because once you start doing that, it kind of feeds into being a know-it-all. Most people are going to start to go look at your page. And you will notice that a lot of times, the people who are making the most comments, you go look at their page and they don't have anything that's associated with what they're actually talking about. We're talking about rabbit dogs. They don't have any videos of their dogs actually running. They may have one old picture. Coon dog, same deal. Bird dog, same thing. You just have to watch. Being somebody new, use social media as a way to connect with other people. Learn something from someone. Connect with the people in your area and reach out to them and see if they'll go hunting with you. See if you can learn, take a few dogs. If you see their page and they're actually out there working, they know something. If you see them consistently posting and they're showing their dogs and all that sort of stuff, and they have a good attitude and vibe about themselves as well, use that to connect with them. The dog community goes so deep that you literally can get a dog across the country right now by sending a simple message. Once you build that relationship with people, once they see that you're a positive person, you're respectful, all those sort of things, they pick up pretty quick that, okay, this guy's a pretty cool dude. Let me try to help. And there's some people who just, they don't have any interest in that, and that's fine too. Just don't reach out to them. But don't be that guy who's always negatively commenting on everybody's page, no matter what, and then wonder why nobody wants to hunt with you, nobody wants to invite you to hunt, nobody wants to get pups from you and all that sort of stuff. Just being new and beginning, please don't be that guy. Okay, now this one here was kind of made me laugh myself. This guy, I know everybody has one in their group, or they can think of a person who fits this description. This person is the one-up person. The one-up person is the person, no matter what story you tell, they have a better one. You could tell them the story about one night, man, I was out coon hunting, and it was just one of the best nights of coon hunting I had. It was just me and my old dog, and we treated 18 single solo coons. The dog was just operating. I was in there skinning the coons out, and I would send the dog on, and before I could even get the tail skin on the coon, I could hear him locating and start the tree again. And I'm out there trying to keep up with him, so I'm carrying 5 or 6 coons, and the dog is just operating on all cylinders that night, and he ended up with 18. And the only reason we stopped at 18 is because I couldn't carry any more hides. That one-up person, oh, well, man, let me tell you about time when I shot 22 coon, and actually, one of them was a cinnamon coon. A cinnamon coon is basically all white. It has really light brown tan. I mean, this is one of the coons that's a rarity that people want to have mounted and all that sort of. But this person, they got one. They ended up shooting a cinnamon coon, but they didn't do anything with the hide or whatever because, it was too cold that night. So, who knows? Who knows? That's just what they do. So that one-up person is just somebody who, no matter what story you tell, no matter how great your dog is, they have a dog that's better. Or they know somebody who has a dog that's better. They know somebody who has had a story that's better. They have a buddy. They always have a buddy that does X, Y, and Z, no matter what it is. You, as a new and beginning handler, hunting with new people, trying to create that friend group of new hunters that you've never hunted with, I know it can be very tempting to want to fit in and have a story to go with the person's story. But if you really don't have a story, it's not always about trying to one-up somebody. That is a person who very quickly will not be invited to hunt again. You'll be surprised how once people feel that out, and once they kind of get that vibe and attitude from you that you may be a one-up type of person, they are not going to invite you back to hunts. And you do not want that. You want to create a friend group. You want to create a group of guys that you can go with, have fun with, and know that I'm invited. I'm welcome. You just don't want to be that guy. The one-up guy is not a guy that a lot of people like to hang around with because they know no matter what you say, this person has a better story or knows a buddy who has done something extravagant that doesn't even make sense. Most of it doesn't even make sense. But they somehow was there when it happened or know somebody who did it. Just being new, don't be that guy. So, here's another one. Here is another one. Now, this person is pretty, a person who sticks out to a lot of us. A person who sticks out to a lot of us. And that is the excuse maker. The excuse maker. No matter what happened, it seems to have an excuse for it. It seems to have an excuse for whatever the heck happened. Let's say the dogs are not running very well that day. They have an excuse for it. Well, man, you know what? My dog I think he has a hangnail, or he might have had something wrong with his paw or something like that. He didn't get a good night's sleep last night, so that's probably why he's swinging on them rabbits and he's not actually packing up, and he can't seem to keep the track going, any of that sort of stuff. I think he might have allergies, and I seen a little gunk in his eye and his nose. I think he had a runny nose actually when we left the house, so that's probably why he can't really smell very well. He's just it doesn't matter. This person has an excuse for everything. Oh man, I know this rabbit ran right at me and actually sat 10 feet from me and I missed the shot. Well, I think the sights on this shotgun is off, you know what I mean? I normally shoot, 6-shot, but I tried shooting 4-shot today and I just don't think it worked very well. And my contacts really wasn't working that great either. I've been squinting all day. Could you tell, I couldn't really see out of this eye. So that's probably why I missed all those rabbits. Even though I had 6 or 7 opportunities of different rabbits ran past me and some of them sat still, I just couldn't make it don't matter. This person has an excuse for everything. Being new and beginning. Try not to be that person. Just own up to it. In the world of rabbit hunt, in the world of squirrel hunt, in the world of coon hunt, in the world of bird dog, pheasant hunt, quail, whatever, you are gonna have days where you can't hit the broadside of a barn. It's just how it goes. You are more apt to just take accountability for it and make it fun. Make a joke out of it. I suck today. We all have. I'll tell you, there's been days where I literally have had that, where a rabbit has come out of the trail, the dogs are smoking, I'm doing good. The rabbit actually stops. I go to pull up a shot. You think it's super easy, and I can see all my shot go right over the top of the rabbit. The rabbit takes off running. Okay, I was a miss. I need to lock in and focus in a little better. Next time the dogs circle that rabbit, same rabbit, circle them back around. That rabbit starts coming across the trail. All my shot went underneath the rabbit, and the rabbit jumped in the air and went across. I just couldn't. I don't know what was going on. And there was a time when we were out hunting with some buddies. I know one of my buddies in Indiana, Cody, he can attest to this because he was standing right next to me when it happened. I think this rabbit had a force field around him because that rabbit come down the trail right towards me the way you want him to, and the rabbit stopped, and I had my 410, and I pulled the shot, and all the BBs you can see hitting the ground, hitting the mud and dirt, went all around the rabbit. All around. Everything. It literally looked like this rabbit had a force field. All the shot went around the rabbit, and the rabbit took off, and we just sat there and looked at each other and laughed. I couldn't have made an excuse about what happened. It's just one of those things that happen. So being new and beginning, making sure that just take accountability for it. Not everything is an excuse. Sometimes the dogs just don't run well. Sometimes sitting conditions may not be in your favor. And I get sometimes the dogs don't feel well. That does happen. But using it as an excuse, people that you're hunting with will pick up on that pretty quick. And nobody really likes to hunt with a person like that. And I want you to be successful in every aspect of this dog hunting stuff. And that's even being with new people that you're hunting with. So don't be that guy, that excuse maker. Don't be him. Another one we got being new is the let me see guy. If you come with a new gun you just bought, if you're coon hunting and you got a new thermal, if you bird hunting and you're trying to use some different shells or something, this guy always, hey, let me see that. Hey, can I see that real quick? Let me check that out. And they always want to see everything that you have. Hey, I just got this. I want to see. If you got you're squirrel hunting and you got a new scope that you just got on your gun, this is a person that, hey, let me see that real quick. And usually what's coupled with that, they have something negative to say about it. No matter what it is, it's freaking brand new. You just bought it. This person will have something to say about, I probably wouldn't have bought that. I probably wouldn't have, or I wouldn't use these shells, or this gun's kind of heavy. Should have bought X, Y, and Z. It's just one of those things. Being a new and beginning handler, I can understand trying to get the new gear, trying to make sure that you have the right gear when you're out there. Again, rabbit hunting, squirrel, coon, bird, whatever, trying to make sure you have the right stuff that's going to fit. And it's going to take some time for you to dial in what all gear that you use and need and want. But it can be very annoying if you always want to see something that somebody else has and then make a negative comment on it. Just don't be that guy. Being new and beginning is perfectly fine, and people understand. Like, hey, I'm new, man. What is this for? Is this a good product? This is not a good product. Can I check out what you got going on? Okay, why did you pick it? Where'd you get it from? That sort of stuff. Perfectly fine. But if you're just a let me see guy just so I can make a comment on why I wouldn't buy it, nobody wants to hear that. Praise the buddy who just bought something new. They're excited about it. They're happy about it for one reason or another. Let them ride with it, man. You create more friends. And if they ask you an opinion, that's something different, and you just let them know what you think. But it's not always the case. It doesn't always have to be that. And the last one I like to talk about is the critic. The critic. No matter how well the dogs ran that day, no matter how many coon they treat that night, no matter how many squirrels they treat, no matter how many birds that they pointed, this person always has something to say that they could have did. The dog should have did better. The hunter could have done better. They basically have a PhD in opinion. They can tell you their opinion on every single thing, even when you don't even ask for it. A lot of times you don't even ask for it. But then you flip it and you ask them, hey, what would you do different? How can I fix that? They usually don't have an answer. It's usually, honestly, I don't know, but I just know I wouldn't do that. What the heck? How are you supposed to help me? You have something to say about everything. Being new and beginning, please don't be that critic. Use the fact that you're new and the fact that you don't know. One of the best things you can offer being new and beginning, starting out, is saying, I don't know. Being able to say, I don't know, will just open up a world of people to share information with you. But if you're off there to criticize no matter what happened, things that could have been done better, of course, dogs can always, they're dogs. They're no different than us. Not everything is going to be perfect out there. Still trying to appreciate the small wins that you have is what it's all about. We're out here to make friends. We're out here to make memories. We're out here to be in our happy place, not taking the negatives and everything that comes along with that. So again, being new and beginning, don't be that guy who criticizes everything. Nobody wants to deal with him. And we want you to be successful in every aspect of this dog hunting world. So I'm going to run back through them real quick for everybody just because I think it's just funny to think about. You got number one, the spot stealer. Don't be that guy who shows up to another guy's spot after they showed you. 2, being the ungrateful guest. A thank you goes a long way when you're first getting in there trying to hunt. Somebody showing you the ropes, taking time out, and giving you their time to teach you. 3, the know-it-all. It's cool that you're very smart and you're knowledgeable and you've done some research, but being the know-it-all is not a person that a lot of people want to deal with. It can be very annoying, and they probably won't invite you back, and that's the last thing we want to happen. We want to have you be successful with these dogs and be successful in your friend group. The negative commenter, being a person who's on social media, no matter what, they always have to comment on everybody's post. And I've heard once calling it comment-opedia. So basically they have a whole storybook of a comment and they expect everybody to read it. And don't be that guy. Just please. Not every post requires a comment. Be positive. You'll go a lot further than being negative. The one-up guy. Not being that person, no matter what story somebody tells, no matter what situation somebody has, you have a better one. Just don't be that guy. A lot of people just don't want to deal with them. They may have you hang around for a little bit of time, but you'll start to wonder why you haven't been invited to hunt for a long time. The excuse maker. Oh my goodness. Nobody likes a person who makes a lot of excuses. take accountability for what's going on and make a joke out of it. Have fun. Understand that sometimes you're gonna miss. Sometimes the dogs are just not gonna run great. It's part of the game. It's part of hunting. That's why they call it hunting and not getting. The let me see guy. Oh my goodness. Again, it's cool trying to make sure that you have the right gear, you have the right stuff, but trying to always let me see what else you got and trying to use it and have a negative comment on why you wouldn't get it. That, again, that person is excited about what they just bought and you didn't buy it. So unless they ask you for that opinion, just don't be that guy. Again, you're new in beginning. You want to create a best bond and friendship, and that's probably not the best way to go about it. And the last one, being the critic. Always having to criticize everything that goes on, whether that's the dogs, whether that's the spot you hunted, whether how you or the other hunters are operating, all those sort of things. Just try to avoid them. Make hunting fun. Get that friend group to where you guys can laugh about that. We're out here to make memories. We're out here to enjoy our dogs and have fun. That's the main point. So I hope some of y'all got some laughs out of some of this sort of stuff. And yeah, I'm pretty sure you can think of that one guy. And maybe someone is going to spark a conversation with that one guy to let them know, hey, man, you got to knock this stuff off. You're my buddy. We can still hunt, but hey, we got to change something different this coming season. So if you can think of that person, maybe share this with them and tell them which one they are so they can start working on some of that sort of stuff. So again, as always, I appreciate y'all listening. And hey, I'm Stevie Thomas of Bawlin Kennels. Stay sharp, stay real, stay houndy.